Hello, good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television Main News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo to present today, the 19th of January 2024. Top stories in the news tonight. Lieutenant General Ronnie SHIKAPWASHA'S wife arrested and charged for murder. Government recalls health experts from retirement to help fight cholera. LALA top chief to dialogue with illegal landowners. In international news, opposition leader calls for nationwide protests in Congo. And in sports news, PATSON DAKA calls for hard work in the game against Tanzania. These are more stories coming up shortly. It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 04 9213. Darren B, a touch of class. Another news in detail. The country has recorded 16 deaths in the last 24 hours with 518 cases recorded. This brings the cumulative number of cases to 11,304 since the cholera outbreak in October. Speaking during the daily cholera outbreak briefing in Lusaka Friday afternoon, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says the Heroes Stadium Cholera Center did not record any deaths. Meanwhile, Ms. Masebo says more than 500,000 people in Mandevo, Kanyama, Rufunsa and Chawama have been vaccinated.
Cholera infections have continued to be on the upward trend, with the country recording 518 cases Friday from 445 on Thursday. Speaking during the daily cholera outbreak press conference at Lusaka's Heroes Stadium, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says the country in the past 24 hours has also recorded 16 deaths.
We now have 821 patients in admission across the country, a rise from the 691 patients.
Ms. Masebo says all the deaths recorded were outside the cholera center, with many being community-based. The minister says government has since intensified cholera preventive measures, including clearing of garbage in compounds and oral vaccinations, which have since surpassed 500,000 in cholera hotspots.
Since we launched the vaccination program, we have cumulatively vaccinated a total of 502,015 individuals in our 5 hotspot areas.
Meanwhile, the corporate world has continued to come forward with donations to help government combat the outbreak. On Friday, the Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA, the New Apostolic Church from Zambia, Malawi and Zimbabwe, and the Zambia Sugar Company were among those who came forward with donations.
So the Zambia Revenue Authority has donated for other medical assistance worth 600,000 kwacha, 630,000 kwacha, for which we have donated 10,000 liters of sugar.
We are very pleased to donate an assortment of materials, health materials materials for treatment and prevention of cholera. Also, using protection chemicals because we found that cholera is here is about 3.5 million, of which the 3 million parts of materials and fats
For Camnet TV News, Afyas Kaptula, Lusaka.
Government has recalled health experts from retirement to help fight cholera. Health Minister Sylvia Masebo has revealed that it has been tough for the ministry since the outbreak. Ms. Masebo says it has been very challenging for the ministry as there are other diseases that need to be looked at aside from cholera. She says a number of health workers have been withdrawn from their workstations to go to Heroes Stadium. She says her office is working to ensure that other diseases are not neglected, hence the need to recall some retired health workers to improve health care delivery.
Well, it's been very challenging for the ministry. As you know, we have multiple diseases. We have malaria, non-communicable diseases. We also have other outbreaks. And in the last week, we've also seen some new numbers around COVID. And obviously, we've had to mobilize people that have retired to come and support us. We've also mobilized volunteers who have also come to support us. We've had to remove certain staff from other facilities to bring them here. Itself is a negative because it does affect the operations of the health centers where you have withdrawn in terms of looking at other smarter this time than before, because COVID taught us something that you don't have to concentrate on one thing. So whilst we are doing everything possible to reduce the numbers to save, also making sure that the other disease burden are not being neglected. So we are actually sharing the work, and thanks to other organizations like Africa CDC and other UN agencies, they've begun to send staff here to come and help us. Even the Chinese government also have sent a team of experts. Delivery in other health facilities are not disrupted, but it has been a lot of work and challenging at the same time.
Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security Jack Mwimbo has underscored the government's desire to provide equitable essential services to refugees and people of concern in the country. Speaking during the launch of the first ever National Refugee Policy, Mr. Mwimbo says the policy will address challenges that refugees face. And United Nations High Commission for Refugees Country Representative Prita Law called for the full implementation of the policy. Meanwhile, a youth representative, Chance Uwera, challenged the Zambian parliament to pass a law which grants citizenship to children of refugees born in Zambia. Details in the following report.
Since 1940, Zambia has been a host to over 105,000 refugees, asylum seekers, and others of concern. The country has upheld an open-door policy which entails that refugees seeking refuge from persecution or conflict are welcome regardless of their nationality or ethnicity, but over time, challenges have emerged such as limited access to basic necessities, among others. In a bid to address the challenges, government has launched the first ever National Refugee Policy. Minister of National Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbo, says the government desire is to create an environment equal to everyone, regardless of status.
By addressing aspects of concerning protection, access to basic services, protection of persons with specific needs, livelihoods and self-reliance, coexistence, durable solutions, and inclusion, this policy seeks to provide guidance and strategic direction in the management and coordination of refugee matters, and serve as a permanent solution to refugee challenges that have occurred in the past.
United Nations High Commission for Refugees Country Representative Prita Law believes implementing the policy will help improve the management of refugees and people of concern in Zambia.
There will be a need to put in place a structured process that leads to a roadmap that is agreed soon to realize the ambitions laid out in the National Refugee Policy. UNHCR offers its full support to the government in this work. The launch of the policy today builds on the decades of life-saving work by the Zambian people in opening their doors to those seeking asylum, in refugee protection and assistance, and lays the foundation for the country to
improve the consents to higher education and skill development. It will improve the access to health services, modernize the refugee settlements, resettlement scheme, and host communities. It will also enhance the social security protection of people with specific needs.
Meanwhile, a youth who was born at Meheba refugee camp in Kalumbila district has appealed for legal reforms which grant citizenship to children of refugees born in Zambia.
It is not the Zambian people that have a problem, it is the law that has a problem, and the law has to be resolved if we want to find a solution. Honorable Minister, I will end with, we cannot forge ahead if we leave others behind.
After all is done and dusted, the dance is on. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
University of Zambia historian Professor Bizek Piri has urged the government to investigate what is causing the recurring Barossa independence movement and other regional groupings. Reacting to President Hakainde Hichilema's sentiments Thursday, reaffirming Zambia's unitary state, Professor Piri says the government should go beyond by establishing the source of the discontent. He says Zambia is a unitary state as emphasized by the president, and there is a need to resolve succession movements to avoid conflicts in future. More in the following report.
The government has been urged to investigate the cause of continued Barossa issue and other regional groupings. Recently, a group from Western Province took to the media demanding independence from Zambia in the historical Barossa issue, which stems at the country's independence. Thursday, in brief but strong words, President Hakainde Hichilema responded, stressing that Zambia is a unitary state which requires contribution of all its citizens to develop. Whilst appreciating the head of state guidance on the matter, University of Zambia historian Professor Bizek Piri has called on government to get the root cause of the matter.
So the question is, what is it that is happening today that is resuscitating these issues? But I'm glad, as a citizen, that the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema, has come out very clearly that in this country called Zambia, there is no country called Western Province of Barossa.
Professor Piri contends that Zambia has existed without disturbances for 59 years, and measures should be put in place to ensure the status quo is maintained.
In my language, where I come from, in Eastern Province, there's a saying where we say, "Umanena chatsitsa zae, potinjo vichoke mnyanga." Now imagine you are walking here. As you are getting out of the car, one of the foot drops and hits one of us on the head. The question is, what has caused that foot to drop? In other words, we need to investigate. Our leaders, our security officials need to investigate what is causing these things to resurface. That people should be now talking about, no, we want to be on our own. What has gone wrong?
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The 73-year-old widow of late Lieutenant General Ronnie SHIKAPWASHA has been formally arrested and charged with the alleged murder of her husband. In a statement issued to Camnet News, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the arrest of Jen Lusengo SHIKAPWASHA comes after an intensive and thorough investigation conducted. Mr. Monga disclosed that Mrs. SHIKAPWASHA allegedly shot the deceased in the abdomen, causing him to sustain a gunshot wound on the left side of the abdomen using a double-barrel shotgun.
The Zambia Police Service announced the formal arrest and charging of Mrs. Jane Lusengo Shikapwasha, aged 73, for the offense of murder contrary to Section 200 of the Penal Code Act of the Civil Laws of Zambia, involving her husband, the late Lieutenant General Leonard Shikapwasha, retired. The incident occurred at their residence on plot number 477 Ibex Hill on the 14th of January 2024 between 17 and 18 hours. Following an intensive and thorough investigations conducted by Twin Palm Police Station, substantial evidence was gathered leading to the arrest of Jane Lusengo Shikapwasha. The arrest was carried out today, 19th January 2024, at Twin Palm Police Station, formerly IBCU Police Station. It is alleged that Jane Lusengo, on the 14th of January 2024, between 17 and 18 hours, at plot number 477 in IBCU in Lusaka District of the Lusaka Province of the Republic of Zambia, whilst acting alone, she caused the death of Lieutenant General Ronald Shikapwasha, retired, using a double-barrel shotgun, serial number 6168462, by shooting the deceased in the abdomen, causing him to sustain a gunshot wound on the left side of the abdomen, resulting in his death on the 15th of January 2024 around 21 hours at Minor Soko Military Hospital. Mrs. Shikapwasha is currently in police custody pending a court appearance. The police service is committed to ensuring a fair and transparent legal process. We would like to reassure the public that we are dedicated to upholding the rule of law and will continue to work diligently to bring this investigation to a just resolution.
The National Water Supply and Sanitation Council, NWASCO, has suspended the operating license for the Northwestern Water Supply and Sanitation Company following the dissolution of the Board of Directors by the Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Mike Mposha. The minister has since appointed a statutory manager for a period of 3 months, who will be required to ensure that technical and other requirements of the utility company are adhered to in the interim period. NWASCO Communications Manager Mpunga Sumukwai says they will closely monitor the operations of the utility company to ensure that provision of water and sanitation services is uninterrupted. The Lusaka Magistrate Court has granted Patriotic Front member and businessman Francis Muchemwa access to his seized properties by the Anti-Corruption Commission to facilitate the preparation for his defense. Mr. Muchemwa, who is accused of possession of property worth over 12 million kwacha, suspected of being proceeds of crime, has recently made an application to have access to his seized property in order to value them before he can commence his defense. Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chibuli, who is presiding over the case, also informed the parties Friday morning that the ruling on the application to hand back one of the accused residences will be made at the next session. In this case, State accuses Muchemwa, a businessman of Lusaka, of possessing a house in the Silverest area valued at 2.5 million kwacha, possession of apartments valued at 4.5 million kwacha in the same area, which are deemed to be proceeds of crime, among other charges. He is jointly charged with 2 companies, Freeltech Networks Limited, Zambia Limited, and Altitude Properties Limited. The court has adjourned the case to February 27, 2024. Government has called on the media to uphold professional and responsible journalism. Minister of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tawo Kawana says professionalism demands that one practicing as a journalist looks at the country with a patriotic eye. Speaking this afternoon when the Media Liaison Committee paid a courtesy call on him, Mr. Kawana says the government is not threatening anyone but rather calling for professionalism in the media industry. And Media Liaison Committee Chairperson Ernest Chanda said that over 4,000 Zambian journalists have resolved to have a law that will establish the Zambia Media Council.
That looks at all journalists in Zambia. It is only proper for me to re-echo His Excellency's words through you to all the journalists in Zambia that practicing professional journalism is a must. But professional journalism must be practiced with a lot of professionalism and a lot of responsibility. Responsibility means that then one ought to look at the country with a patriotic eye. Today there are a lot of people that would want to, lacking a better term to use, set this country on fire. We can govern, set it on fire. We have got people that are political players, probably belong to political sections that may not have made it in the last elections and feel that they need to make the country ungovernable. And the best platforms to use are the airwaves. So we want to, through you, re-echo our sentiments that despite some media houses feeling threatened, we want to repeat that we are not threatening anyone, but we are saying that we are a unitary state. Just yesterday, His Excellency the President made it very clear and re-emphasized that we are a unitary state. There is no different Zambia, there is no Garotse land, there is no any other land. There is just one Zambia, one nation occupied by one people.
And for us, the over 4,000 Zambian journalists, we are resolved on having a law that will establish a Zambian Media Council, so they can remain with their mode of media regulation and will proceed with our own. And we are pleading strongly with the government that you go ahead and enact that bill for us into law.
A financial analyst has called on government to implement short and medium-term local solutions to address the current economic hurdles. Professor Edgar Nyanga proposes that government injects more financial resources in local businesses, work on the fiscal and monetary policy of the country in order to cushion the high cost of living. Meanwhile, an economist, Emmanuel Zulu, proposes the need to increase the domestic revenue base for Zambia in order to help in stabilizing the country's economy. Mr. Zulu predicts that once Zambia grows the tax base adequately beginning 2024, the economy of the country may stand independently and compete against major international currencies. Details in this report.
Since 2023, stakeholders in the financial and economic fields have attributed the continued depreciation of the kwacha to the delayed debt restructuring process, lack of reinvestment in government bonds, and the government's dependence on the debt restructuring deal, among other factors. Last week, Finance and National Planning Minister Dr. Stumbeko Msogotwane projected a positive outlook for the economy with anticipated injection of $80 million into the Zambian economy by investors taking over Mopani mine, and announced that the debt restructuring process may conclude by first quarter of 2024. However, a financialist, Professor Edgar Nyanga, has proposed the need to turn to local solutions that will reduce the cost of living and stabilize the depreciating kwacha before the debt restructuring process is concluded in the first quarter of 2024 as projected. Professor Nyanga says it will not be prudent to entirely depend on the debt restructuring process when the country's economic challenges continue.
We need to look at our fiscal and monetary policies. That obviously is under the Bank of Zambia and the Minister of Finance. Under Minister of Finance, there is a need for us to look at the fiscal policies that can help us cushion in terms of inflation, and also monetary policies that Bank of Zambia should work on. And so also maybe they need to release some reserves so that they can cushion on the kwacha that is losing its value. There's an also need to quickly call in outside investors to come in and invest into Zambia. Obviously, this we have seen, it's been pronounced many times, but this time now we need to actualize it, because the cost of living, as we've already put, is going high. So these methods and ways can help us, cushion on the inflation that is going on.
Meanwhile, an economist, Emmanuel Zulu, proposes the need to increase the domestic revenue base for Zambia in order to stabilize the country's economy without over-depending on foreign nationals.
So the talk around making Zambia self-reliant and also avoiding dependence on donor support is anchored on revenue mobilization through increasing or growing the tax base. So currently we still have a lot of players in the informal sector, as well as system leakages where revenue can still not be collected due to non-compliance. But overall, I think it dwells much on how our tax base gets to grow, and also how we get to improve the system.
With assurances from President Hakainde Hichilema that 2024 is the year of economic breakthrough, the wait continues. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
We'll take a break. Join us for more news shortly after the break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha, from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Cotton Board of Zambia has projected a positive outlook for the cotton industry in 2024, owing to a solid policy foundation laid in 2023. The board is confident cotton industry players will this year take advantage of many incentives the government has introduced to stimulate growth in the sector. Board Chief Executive Officer Sunduzwayo Banda has explained that cotton is a drought-tolerant crop which is expected to perform well in such conditions. We continue with the news. Climate Smart Agriculture Expert and Conservation Farming Unit Senior Manager Oliver Bulaya has expressed concern over the trend by some farmers who disregard their own safety by using pesticides and herbicides without wearing protective clothing. In an interview with Camnet News, Dr. Bulaya observed the importance of personal protective equipment in safeguarding farmers against the harmful effects of toxic substances. Dr. Bulaya notes that safety measures should not be ignored when it comes to the use of chemicals by smallholder farmers, as the number of cancer cases and other diseases is increasing, possibly due to negligence.
It's disheartening, to see many farmers of late using pesticides and herbicides without personal protective clothes. This is a health hazard for our farmers themselves. And personal protective clothes or equipment is essential in protecting farmers against various hazardous conditions that come with the usage of toxic substances. Safety must not be neglected when it comes to the usage of chemicals by smallholder farmers. Cases of cancer and other diseases are rising, and this could be attributed to farmers' negligence of safety. For us, as Conservation Farming Unity, we prioritize safety in all the farmers' undertaking. And no farmer must use chemicals without prior training, because chemicals are toxic and a danger to both human beings and the environment if improperly used. Farmers must be trained on handling chemicals safely. The health of a farmer is the priority, and safety must not be neglected due to consequences of eventual health conditions of farmers thereafter. We call upon all the experts in the agricultural sector not to pay a blind eye to farmers in a habit of not using personal protective equipment when it comes to the usage of chemicals. This trend must be stopped at all costs. And PPE must be improvised by farmers by ensuring that they cover their heads, they wear gloves and respirators and footwear.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has received the third consignment of 7,050 health center kits. ZAMSA Senior Corporate Communications Manager Bradley Chingobe says this shipment brings the cumulative total to 21,150 kits received since August 2023. Mr. Chingobe says this batch, which started arriving at the central warehouse on the 2nd of January 2024, is part of the initial procurement of 42,000 kits from Mission Pharma. He says ZAMSA's objective is to ensure that they receive the entire amount of 42,000 kits within a period of 12 months.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has received the third consignment of 7,050 health center kits, and this shipment brings the cumulative total to 21,150 kits that have been received since August 2023. This batch, which we started receiving at the central warehouse on the 2nd of January 2024, is part of the initial procurement of 42,000 health center kits that we are procuring from Mission Pharma. Our objective is to ensure that we receive the entire batch of 42,000 health center kits within a period of 12 months. The impact that these health center kits have had on the country's primary healthcare system cannot be overstated. As a result of the health center kits, the country has seen the availabilities of medicines and medical supplies at health facilities increase in some cases to above 80%. ZAMSA services in excess 3,000 healthcare service delivery points every month across the country, and we will ensure that all these receive the kits in a timely manner. The acquisition of these health center kits symbolizes government's commitment to maintain a steady supply of medicines and medical supplies in the public health chain. We aim to supply health center kits every 2 months to all health facilities that are spread across the country. It is imperative that we note that the health center kits are the backbone of primary health care in Zambia. The distribution of these kits will commence as soon as quality assurance clearance is granted by the Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, ZAMRA, which is keeping in line with the established pharmacovigilance practices at ZAMSA. We are committed to continue procuring, storing, and distributing medicines and medical supplies for a healthy and productive Zambia.
Africa's Governance Network has welcomed the pronouncement made by President Hichilema that government contracts must be available and awarded to all citizens. In an interview with Camnet News, AfriNet Director Maurice Malambo says this will curb corruption and generate a sense of transparency. Mr. Malambo adds that the move will give young people an opportunity to be contracted by government.
On Thursday, 18th January 2024, President Hakainde Hichilema addressed permanent secretaries and senior government officials from all sectors at the Lusaka's Mulungushi International Conference Center, Kenneth Kaunda Wing. In his address, the head of state expressed the need for government contracts to be awarded to Zambian citizens in a bid to spur development.
Business opportunities in the public sector must be available to all our people. This platform you use, what do you call it? So, KUSO. What do you call it?
EGP, Mr. President.
We believe there's an inbuilt problem in that EGP system that promotes issuance of contracts to those who have been doing business with the government for the last 10 years. New ones are somehow inherently excluded. So what do you think those husbands of mine are thinking about the president? This chap, we voted for him. We were being marginalized in the previous 10 years. Now he's still marginalizing us now. What do you think they think of me? And then you. They think we are bad people, isn't it?
Reacting to this statement, Inter-Africa Governance Network, AfriNet Executive Director Maurice Malambo says if effected, the awarding of contracts to all citizens will generate a sense of transparency and reduce corruption in various sectors.
Africa Governance Network, we welcome the clarion call made by the President to the permanent secretaries and other directors in key positions of government to award contracts or government contracts on merit. That call will help to generate a sense of transparency in the awarding of government contracts, and also it will help to curb corruption that is reported or other clandestine activities around government contracts. But it will also help to give the young people an opportunity to supply or be contracted by government.
For years, there have been cries from Zambian-owned companies over the lack of equal availability of contracts to Zambian citizens. Is this the time for the narrative to change? Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Newly installed Senior Chief Muchinda Kankomba Welala III says those who grabbed land when there was no chief in his chiefdom would not be chased but will be engaged to resolve land ownership. The LALA top chief says dialogue would take precedence over the plight of his subjects. This came to light in a speech delivered by his secretary Eliud Katioka in Sarenje when Senior Chief Muchinda Kankomba Welala III handed over a hammer mill, millie mill, blankets, sugar and cooking oil to over 150 aged people and those with disabilities. The Senior Chief also handed over bicycles to all his headmen exceeding 28. And the traditional leader said the absence of a chief for 13 years brought in infighting and crime perpetuating from different interests in areas of mining and land grabbing. He said Muchinda Chiefdom now has 5 farm blocks, 11 big commercial farmers and individual Zambians migrating from different parts of Zambia without following proper procedure.
There was no chief to provide leadership for 13 years. This brought a lot of infights and crime perpetuation from different interests in areas of mining and land grabbing. May I state that in Muchinda Chiefdom alone, we have 5 farm blocks, 11 big commercial farmers and individual Zambians immigrating from district to district without following the proper procedure. We thank the government to bring development in this area of agriculture. Nevertheless, I've resorted to amicably handle and sort out these issues with love. We will engage peacefully and care in dialogue with the affected and interested parties. I will not chase and victimize anyone. I'm aware of the social vices of displacement.
We'll take a second and final break. Join us for more in international sports news after the break.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
And now in foreign news, 3 opposition leaders in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, have jointly declared a nationwide protest scheduled for Saturday, coinciding with President Felix Tshisekedi's second term inauguration. The Electoral Commission reported Tshisekedi's victory in last month's election with 73% of the vote. However, this outcome faced criticism as a sham from multiple opposition candidates, including Moise Katumbi, who officially secured second place with 18%, Martin Fayulu in third place with 5%, and Anzulini Bembe, who secured 1%. Allegations of fraud and ballot stuffing have been raised by the opposition leaders, leading to their call for a demonstration on the inauguration day. Despite the claims, their leading opposition candidates opted not to pursue a legal challenge, and the Constitutional Court has validated Tshisekedi's victory. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
3 opposition leaders in the Democratic Republic of Congo have jointly declared a nationwide protest scheduled for Saturday, coinciding with President Felix Tshisekedi's second-term inauguration. The Electoral Commission reported Tshisekedi's victory in the last month elections with 73% of the vote. However, this outcome faced criticism as a sham from multiple opposition candidates, including Moise Katumbi, who officially secured second place with 18%, Martin Fayulu in third with 5%, and Anzuluni Mbembe, who secured 1%. Allegations of fraud and ballot stuffing have been raised by opposition leaders, leading to their call for a demonstration on the inauguration day. Despite the claims, the leading opposition candidate opted not to pursue a legal challenge, and the Constitutional Court has validated Tshisekedi's victory.
The spokesperson for the government of Burkina Faso denounced Thursday what he called an umpteenth attempt at destabilizing the Sahelian nation. He said a coup attempt had been foiled. Citing findings of preliminary investigations, Rimtalba Jean-Emmanuel Ouedraogo said the coup was scheduled to take place on January 14th. He added that a network of military officers, some retired, some are active, as well as civilians and activists, conspired to destabilize the institutions of Burkina Faso. The network allegedly sought to target citizens' watch bodies to sway the people's support for the ruling patriotic movement for the safeguard and restoration. Foreign funding was being unblocked for the accused to proceed with their plan, the statement further reads. An undisclosed number of people were detained for questioning and technical analysis were carried out. The government spokesperson said intelligence services and defense forces were vigilant. It is the fourth coup attempt authorities in Burkina Faso have claimed to have thwarted since Captain Ibrahim Traoré took power by force in September 2022. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni hosted Thursday in Entebbe his fellow IGAD leaders. On the agenda of the 42nd Extraordinary Summit of the East African Bloc was the war in Sudan and the dispute opposing Mogadishu to Addis Ababa. The presidents of Uganda, South Sudan, Kenya, Djibouti and Somalia were in attendance. The head of Sudan, Army General Al-Burhan, boycotted the meeting where his rival General Hamdan Daglo was invited. The men didn't meet in December despite an agreement. In the communique of the one-day summit, IGAD leaders reminded the parties their commitment and called upon them to hold a face-to-face meeting within 2 weeks. The IGAD Secretariat will revise the roadmap for the resolution of the conflict in Sudan and convene within a month Sudanese-led talks on a democratic government in the war-torn nation. In the Ethiopia-Somalia crisis, IGAD insisted any agreement should be with the consent of the federal government of Somalia. Ethiopia recently signed a MOU with the breakaway Somali region of Somaliland to gain access to the Red Sea strategic coast. Somalia has condemned the move and called on Ethiopia to retract its deal.
And now in sports news, Chipolopolo boys striker PATSON DAKA believes there is room for improvement in their attacking game as the team prepares to meet Tanzania at the ongoing AFCON. DAKA urged his team to stay focused and work hard for maximum points in the game against Tanzania. He emphasized the need to not underestimate their opponents as Tanzania will be looking to bounce back from their own loss. With a point in the bag, Zambia aims to build momentum and secure victory in their upcoming fixture.
Well, it's not going to be an easy game. There's a lot at stake. We want maximum points and they want maximum points. Like I said, it's just the beginning of the competition. And if you check a lot of teams, like for example, Argentina lost their first game at the World Cup, but they went all the way to win the World Cup. So even if Tanzania lost the first game, doesn't mean that it will just be a walkthrough for us. We need to dig deep. We need to work extra hard to do everything that we can to get maximum points because they are thinking the same thing as well. So I think we don't have to go in there with a mindset of, oh, they lost the first game, so we're definitely going to win this game. No, we don't want to be caught by surprise, so we just need to be ready for it. It's going to be a fight, so we just have to work together as a team, as we have always been doing. So we'll do our very best in the next game. We're always going into the game with a mindset of winning the game. We're not going there to lose or to draw. We are going there with a mindset of winning. So we'll give our very best in the remaining games, and we appreciate their support always. We hope they'll continue to support us, and we'll try by all means to give them what they deserve.
Wishing the Chipolopolo boys all the best in their Sunday encounter. To end Camnet Television News, the top stories once again. Lieutenant General Ronnie SHIKAPWASHA'S wife arrested and charged for murder. Government recalls health experts from retirement to help fight cholera. LALA top chief to dialogue with illegal land owners. In international news, opposition leaders call for nationwide protests in DR Congo. And in sports news, PATSON DAKA calls for hard work in the game against Tanzania. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of 1 Corinthians 16, verse 13. Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. My name is Jeffrey Zambo, and thank you for watching Camnet Television Main News. Bye-bye.